Mr. Chairman, thank you for bringing up this bill at this time. It was scheduled a couple hours earlier when we had a conference with 12 county officials from Los Angeles to discuss the Palisades fire, which of course devastated my district in January. Thank you for accommodating that. I want to thank everyone, but especially the ranking member for their decision to allow this bill to go by voice in this committee, unless I really screw up my presentation here, and to be considered in suspension on the floor, where hopefully it will also go by voice. This bill is the culmination of 6 years of work to try to deal with an issue of accounting, dealing with the accounting for overhead costs that goes into the telling investors what the overhead is in their mutual funds. I want to thank Ann Wagner, but also Congresswoman Bynum and Congressman Huizenga and Gabriano for their help in this. Back in 1980, Congress enacted the Business Development Companies bill to allow for capital to be available, particularly loans to small and medium-sized businesses. By law, BDC must invest 70% of its assets in small and medium-sized companies. This was so important because back in the very old days, banks made prime plus 3, prime plus 4 loans. They don't do that anymore. And so companies with less than the very highest capital standards and the very highest security were unable to get capital. In 2006, the SEC inadvertently discouraged capital flows into BDC by training their ability to serve small businesses. That rule was part of the acquired funds, fees, and expenses disclosure framework. That's an accounting convention designed to tell people who invest in mutual funds what is the overhead of that mutual fund. But unfortunately, it counts as a part of the overhead of the mutual fund, the overhead of the company the mutual fund invests in. Now, we don't do this for banks. If you're in an S&P 500 fund, it's the cost of the fund that's disclosed to you, not the fact that Bank of America has all these people making loan officer decisions. We don't do that with REITs, but we do that with BDCs. By adding, as a result, particularly index funds, but mutual funds in general are not investing in BDCs. So BDCs have experienced a 29 to 33% lower investment growth when compared to their peers. We need to rectify this. This bill will allow capital to get to the small and medium-sized businesses that are not so creditworthy that they can easily get a large bank loan and are certainly not large enough to go tap the public markets. The Access to Small Business Investor Capital Act fixes the accounting problem I identified, and it is bipartisan legislation. We have a total of 14 Democratic sponsors, including myself. We have a similar number of Republicans, but we have 14 Democratic members of this committee. The most important thing that our financial institutions do is provide capital for businesses, particularly small and medium-sized businesses, and it's up to this committee to make sure that capital can flow to Main Street. With that, I thank everyone involved in this process and yield back.